Welcome to my stay-at-home workout. It's upper body push day, so we're going to be doing some pike push-ups, we're going to be doing some squats with a weight raise, and we're also going to be doing some bicep curls in a tall kneel position for a little extra core engagement. But before we get into that, we're going to do some core bracing. And also, just so you know, here's the equipment that I'm working with. I got a 1/2-inch resistance band, and for my weight, just a 10-pound ball. That's all I'm using besides my mat here today. Okay, so hopefully you have something similar. Pretty much anything will work in terms of your weight. You can modify that however you see fit. Dumbbell, kettlebell, household object, doesn't really matter. Well, let's do some core bracing. So a couple exercises today that we're going to pair up here. We're going to do 2 sets of each. We're going to do some Russian twists for the obliques, and then we're going to do some ankle touches, which is a bit of a crunch variation that I really like. Both of these are kind of boxing warm-up type exercises that I used to do quite a bit. All right, so got a Russian twist here. So the idea with the Russian twist is basically you're going to be sitting back on your butt. There's a couple ways you can do it: heels up off the ground or heels down. I can show you from the side as well so you see what I'm doing here. So basically I'm up on my butt, and the twist part comes in here. I'm twisting at the trunk, big twist. You can actually see my shoulders and chest are pointing to the side. So it's not a reach, it's an actual twist. Heels down is going to be easier, heels up a little tougher. If you do have the heels up, you're going to want to keep your legs as still as possible. They're going to shake a bit, but you want to minimize that. So we're going to do 10 per side, or I'm just going to count straight up to 20 because that's how I like to do it. You're going to keep nice and tight. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's relax there. We won't need the ball for the ankle touches. They're going to look like this. You're going to get on your back. You're going to stick your legs up in the air as if you were doing a leg raise, but they're going to stay up there, okay? And you want to keep your lower back ribs stuck to the ground. Hands up by your face like a boxer. Then you're going to do a little crunch from about here, and you're going to reach and touch the outside of the opposite ankle. So once again, it's going to be 10 per side. I'm just going to count straight up to 20 to simplify things, okay? Try not to crank your neck too much. Try to crunch from here, and then you're really going to reach. So you're going to have a shoulder blade protracting forward, you know what I mean? And you're going to touch the outside of the opposite ankle. So let's do that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax it. Little breather. We're going to hit each one of those exercises one more time. Then we'll have a nice 360 degrees of core bracing going on, and then we'll be engaged and our core will be supported for those bigger lifts that we're going to hit coming up after this. Okay, once again, with those Russian twists, if you tried heels down and it was too easy, elevate the heels, be my guest. You also don't have to do this with weight. You can just make a weight with your fists, just like that. It's all good, okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And one more time with those ankle touches. We're going to try to get those legs straight up in the air and keep them there. One way I like to do it is like kind of pointing the toes. What would be up, it's going to be down right now, but up towards the top of the feet, like that. Okay? Got those toes pointed, legs up, hands by the face, and crunching and reaching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax. Let's get a little sip of water. So we have 3 exercises today. We're going to treat them as a superset or a circuit basically. It's going to be 3 sets of 8 repetitions of each exercise. It is upper body push day, so that means we're going to put the upper body push exercise at the top. We're going to prioritize that. It is also probably the toughest of the 3 exercises. So we're going to do some pike push-ups, which is a pretty shoulder dominant push-up variation, and then we're going to move into some squats and then those bicep curls. Okay, so pike push-ups basically, you're going to get set up like this. You can do this with the feet elevated, but that is a much harder version. So I'm going to start it on the floor here. I might elevate the feet for the last set. We'll see how it goes. It's been a while since I've been doing shoulder work. All right, so we're going to get up into this kind of tall position here, okay? Almost like a downward dog position, basically. I still want my weight driving through the heels of my palms. Essentially, I'm going to keep the core nice and tight. I'm going to try to keep this same bend. You see that angle that's happening on my hips? I'm going to try to keep that. I'm going to lower myself down, push myself up. So my head, you see, comes close to the ground, and then I push myself up. So it's basically a push-up motion, except because of the angle, it's going to really put a lot of stress on the shoulders, basically, okay? Not necessarily bad stress, as long as your shoulders are stable, healthy, and ready for this kind of work, okay? So if you're experiencing shoulder pain or range of motion is kind of iffy, not really the exercise for you, I would just recommend a classic push-up in lieu of this. Okay, we're gonna hit that for 8, okay? Stay nice and tight. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Relax. All right, next up, we got some squats. This squat variation, I'm just going to throw in a little extra work for us. It's going to be squat with the weight raise. For me, it's going to be the ball raise, basically, but it's usually like a plate or something like that. But a dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, 2 small dumbbells will totally work. Essentially, what's going to happen here, first you're going to find your squat stance. If you don't know what that is, what you do is you hop up and down, twist out the heels, twist out the toes. Now your feet should be a little bit wider and shoulder width apart, a little bit of flare going on. That's more or less your squat stance. Mine's a little bit wider than that. I widen that out a bit. Everybody's a little bit different with that, okay? So find what's comfortable. You're basically gonna hold the weight down here to start. You're gonna keep the shoulders back and down. Even when we lift this weight up, we're not gonna shrug. All right, we're gonna keep the shoulders back and down. It comes up like that. See what I mean? When it comes up, my shoulder blades stay where they are. Now as I squat down, the weight's gonna come up. The way that's gonna look is like this. So we're gonna be a nice proper squat here, pushing the knees out. Core's gonna be nice and tight. Weight comes up. I go down, weight comes up. I'll show you from the side. So we're gonna do 8 of these, okay? Staying super tight, dig it into the ground with those toes. Push the knees out. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relaxing there. Gonna move into our third exercise of the 3, which is gonna be bicep curls. I like to do mine in a tall kneel, which is basically just this, right? Tall kneel. Mostly that's because of my equipment. I really like to use the band for the bicep curl, but to get the right tension, I can't really stand up with it. I have to kind of kneel on it, and that makes it just about perfect. This is basically, use any bicep curl variation that you want. We're not going to get too crazy with it. You can come kneel with me if you like, and you can do this with dumbbells too, right? Or you can stand up with dumbbells, whatever you got, whatever works. Okay, I'm going to get this evened out. A little bit of tension on there. My idea here is I'm keeping the hips locked out, so hips forward, core is tight, ribs down, nice and tall to the top of my head, elbows pretty much stuck to the sides like so. So I'm just going to curl up and then a little slower on the way down. That's the idea there. I want to keep this really firm core position and keep those elbows tucked in because I want to isolate this movement to the biceps as much as possible. You're going to feel it a little in the lats, no big deal, but I don't want to be like leaning in or leaning back or any weird stuff like that, okay? All right, lock those hips out, core tight, ribs down, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, little breather. We'll rest here for about 30 seconds before we hit anything else. Feel free to pause the video and take a little longer if you want. That's no problem. In fact, even a good thing if we're working to build muscle, which is what we're doing with these 8 rep sets for sure. I like to keep things pretty snappy to keep the cardio in there, but by all means take all the rest that you need. You want to hit this next set still feeling strong. Okay, so a little less explanation this time. You've had a chance to practice it. We're going to hit once again those 8 pike push-ups. Then we're going to hit those 8 squats with the raise, and then 8 more bicep curls. All right, give a few more seconds to rest here. Remember on these pike push-ups, you want to keep that bend. You want to keep that angle. All right, you want to stay really nice and tight. It's a tricky one in terms of form, so don't worry if you can't get it right away. I actually find it a little bit easier to keep the form when my feet are elevated, but it of course makes you feel much heavier. So that's a weird little trade-off there for sure. Okay, so let's get up into that pike position. All right, you notice I'm pretty much on the balls of my feet here. All right, so core is super tight. I'm driving through the heels of my palms. All right, we're gonna do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Of course, that's pretty shoulder dominant, and the raise here is working the shoulders as well. So you're feeling like it's a little bit too crazy on the shoulders today, just grab that weight and hold it right here, goblet style. Still going to be an activation for the upper body as you keep that core tight and a pretty upright form as you squat. So you're still getting some work out of it, and it doesn't affect the shoulders so much. Okay, I'll show you from this side once again. Remember, push those knees out, dig in with the toes, and core nice and tight. All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's relax. Gonna get set up for the second round of those bicep curls. However you're doing it, I'm gonna widen out my knees just a bit. Only reason being, a little more tension on the band. So make that a little bit more intense for myself. Okay? Core's tight if you're in that tall kneel and your hips are locked out and your ribs are down. Actually, that pretty much goes for if you're standing up too. You still want those ribs down, that core tight. Okay? Elbows in. All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, nice job. Little breather, and we just got one more round. Just gonna chill. Breathe in deeply through the nose. Full exhale out the mouth. Focusing on your heart rate. You can actually feel it slowing down. Pretty much the only way you can control your heart rate is by controlling your breath. And those slow inhales, slow exhales out the mouth until all the air is out of your lungs is actually the best way to do it in the shortest amount of time. All right, folks. So I am going to elevate my feet on this last set of pike push-ups here. If you've got a stable chair or a couch like me, or something that's not going to move on you, like a bench in a gym, right? You can get your feet up there, and then you're basically just doing the same exercise, except with your feet elevated. You're at a disadvantage in terms of leverage, and it's going to make things more difficult for you because you've also got kind of further to go. Okay, so only do that if you want more of a challenge than the original form of the exercise, okay? Because this does get pretty tough. All right, so we're gonna take a minute to get set up here. Gonna make sure we're set up nice. Core is gonna be nice and tight. Driving through the heels of the palms on that one. Trying to keep that spine nice and neutral. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Whew, not too bad. Let's hit those squats. I'll show you from this angle this time. Once again, you find that squat stance. You want to push those knees out. Don't let the knees come in. And you're going to raise that weight up, but keep those shoulder blades down, so don't be shrugging. You want to leave lots of room here between the shoulders and the ears. You want to be showing lots of neck, okay? Keep that core tight. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice work. Last set of curls here, and then we're done for the day. Okay. Those hips locked out, ribs down, core's tight, elbows tucked in. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And relax. It's time now to cool down, stretch it out, foam roll, however you want to do it. Just make sure you do something. Get some protein, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.